1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
To another live stream. Let me just get the camera on the vertical stream. There we go. Hopefully my sound's coming through 5x5. Pretty tired today. Got home pretty late, but don't want to waste the holidays and my chance to get some streams in. Deco444 wins in the channel or in the chat. Welcome, Dre. Welcome, brother. Yeah. So we're flying the 320, the Phoenix Simulation 320 to Atlanta. We haven't been to Atlanta in a hot minute, so thought it would be a good opportunity to get it done. And we haven't flown the A320 in a while as well. We were in the 7-3 last night. So let's take this beautiful spiritual Wangs bird down to Atlanta. I only have Raleigh, in terms of ATC, we only have Raleigh-Durham ground online, so better than nothing, I guess. Hopefully Atlanta Center will come back online. They were online when I set up the stream, but they went off. So it's VATSIM. It's a free service. You can't really control it. So it is what it is. Let's hop in. No Spirit. Let's go tap Portuguese. Welcome, welcome, dude. Spirit is
Probably traffic, November 79.
the equivalent of flare.
Left base for runway 23 left.
And it looks like I'm already tuned into the radios, oddly enough. Okay, it's on Unicom. Okay, so that's interesting. The aircraft is in a cold and dark state, but I can somehow hear the radios. Let me just make sure everything is good with my sounds. Okay, it should be. That's a little bit weird. But anyways, haven't flown this guy in a while, so let's hopefully we remember how to fly it. So excuse me while I knock off the rust. We're going to get some ground sources. We have the ground power unit connected, which means we can get some AC power to the aircraft. Doors and chocks and cones are set, and left door is open. Let's hop on up here. Battery 1 goes on. Battery 2. We got over 24 volts in both batteries, which is good. And let's turn on the external power. Aircraft's going to come alive. Beautiful. So, okay, let's see if we remember how to do all this. Nav. This is the air data inertial reference system for the IRSs to get aligned. Cool. We come down here, evac to captain only, and CVR test. That checks. Crew supply oxygen goes on. Fuel pumps can remain off for now. How do you change the altimeter? I'll show you. I'll show you. Okay, so let's see. Everything's good over here. We want the no smoking to auto, emergency exit lights armed, and nav lights go on. I think that's all that there was down here for now. And then the next thing we ought to do is come over here to the FMGC. Nav database is good till 24th of December. Good. This is a new thing I haven't seen before. What the hell is that? Interesting. Status / crossload software. Don't recall seeing that before. Can get a quick weather check down in RDU. So we'll initialize our flight here. Cool. So Spiritual Wangs 187 from Raleigh-Durham to Atlanta. Estimated time en route 1 hour and 2 minutes, and Hartsfield is our alternate. Good. We're going to come over here and request on the init A page, and that will populate. And we're going to come over here to our electronic flight bag. We're cost index 8, flight level 380 is our cruising altitude. And of course we're flight 187, 380. ICE Aviation today is +3, so 3 degrees warmer than the standard international standard atmosphere. IRSs can go align on reference, and our wind information, we can request that. And I can come over here on this side and we can get the weather that we just asked for. So as of 7:51 p.m. local, which is Eastern, winds are 170 at 4, 10 statute mile visibility, overcast 200, so 20,000. Temperature 7, dew point -9, altimeter 3050. And this is how you set the altimeter over here on the Airbus. So 3050, high pressure system in the area. Scroll in, there we go, 3050, set left, and set right, And of course, can't forget about our handy dandy standby. Whoa, too much. Alright, 30-50 set 3 times. Good. And temperature on the ground is 7 degrees centigrade. Good. And let's get the ATIS going. SimCFI, this guy is back to his lives. Dude, the force feedback stick is crazy. You gotta come try. Yeah, is that for DCS? That's not the same one that they use for the Airbus, is it? Like, I know there was a Matza version of the yoke that was a side stick. Is this a different one, SimCFI? And if you don't know SimCFI, the guy typing above you was Dre. That's his username. Indeed, indeed. Welcome to you guys in the vertical chat as well. What is the ground frequency or ATIS? 123.8. 123.8.
Blue. Wind 170 at 4. Visibility 10. Ceiling 20,000 overcast. Temperature 7. Dew point -9er. Altimeter 3050. Simultaneous dependent and conjunct approaches in use. Expect ILS or visual approach runway 23 left,
right.
23 right. Multiple approaches in effect. Landing and departing runways 23 left,
Information whiskey.
23 right.
It's for
Runway
anything.
1432
It's,
available
new,
upon
it's smaller.
request.
There's an
Notice to
Airbus
air
profile
mission
for it. Yeah, I gotta see
ATG
this. It
before
looks
the
crazy.
larger aircraft
So
at
many
North
buttons and
Cargo
stuff on
contact
it.
ground control prior to pushback.
But it looks like it was
Brief and
kind
call
of
runway
made
assignments
for
and hold short instructions.
DCS, huh?
Advise on initial contact. You have information whiskey.
Alright, information whiskey. Kind of looks like it's a DCS type of stick rather than just a Airbus one. Ground point 9er for our IFR clearance. We can pull up our charts here. It's for anything. It's a feedback stick is crazy. You gotta. Oh yeah, sorry, I already saw that. The grip is DCS, but you can put an Airbus stick on it. But who cares about the grip? It's the force feedback. What you're paying for is nuts. So in terms of Airbus, I don't think it has feedback, right? So what would that be really emulating, Matt? Is that like a? Do the F whatever the fighter jets have force feedback? Because I'm pretty sure the Airbus doesn't, right? Let's get our charts open.
Raleigh ground, November 79, Victor Bravo is clear of runway 23 left at Alpha 3.
So it already pins our relevant charts based on our imported
November 79er Victor Bravo, Raleigh ground.
sim brief.
Taxi Alpha Juliet 2 to the ramp.
Alpha Juliet 2 to the ramp, 79er Victor Bravo.
Alright, let's get our IFR. Les clearances. What gate are we at? We are... Can I see the gate here? We're on Charlie 1 apparently. That doesn't look right. Taxi, parking positions. Oh yeah, we are. Okay. Open aft cargo, open forward cargo. I shall do that.
Pilot's boarding starting.
Alright. So it's not about the force feedback in terms of you're going to feel the airplane through the stick with the Airbus. It's more about you can replicate the very high-tech advanced mechanisms. The Airbus side stick, so you'll make it feel exactly like a real side stick as a thrust master, and other non-force feedback just can't get the strength required, if that makes sense. The force feedback will replace the mechanism of a side stick. V1 has a profile actually for it to make it feel like an Airbus. I really got to try this thing out in person. I have no idea what a real side stick's supposed to feel like. So, I'll take your word for it, man. It does look pretty crazy. Did they send it to you, or? That would be awesome if they give it to you for free. Let me get my clearance for the millionth time. I keep saying that. Ground, good evening. It's Spirit Wings 187 with information Whiskey at Charlie 1. Request RFR clearance to Atlanta.
Spirit Wings 187, Raleigh ground, thank for Whiskey. Clear to Atlanta Airport, Shepherd for departure, then as filed. Maintain 6,000, expect flight level 380, 10 minutes after departure. Departure is offline, squawk 0550.
Okay, clear to Atlanta via the Shepherd 4 departure, then as filed, maintain 6,000, expect flight level 380, 10 minutes after departure offline, squawk 0550, Spirit Wings 187.
Spirit Wings 187, read back correct, call me when you're ready for taxi.
Roger, we'll call ready taxi, Spirit Wings 187, thanks. Okay, so Shepherd 4, which is a simple departure. Oops, Shepherd 4 right here, insert that. And Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, we're expecting, where is it? Route Aussie 2 to 8 left. Aussie 2, 8 left. Thank you. And is it going to be the Levy transition? Yes, it is. Levy. Let me have a quick look-see-poo, how that looks over here. Constraints go on. And we can, oops, turn on our VOR. I don't need my ADF because I don't care about the NDB. So it's just the, let's see. They sent it to me. I'm more blown away with it than I am with the yoke. No way. Really? Obviously it does do for feedback for aircraft like the F4 or non-flyable wire aircraft, but you can replicate that uber stick to a really high degree. Hey, I was helping my grandma. Did you do the altimeter yet? Yeah, Dre, here. The altimeter is from here, man. You just spin this thing and it says QNH, so that's basically inches of mercury right here. And you do that on the captain side, on the first officer side, and you do it on the standby instrument as well. So in the Airbus 320 family, or all the Airbuses really, that's how you do it. Cool. So I'm gonna insert that because I'm happy with that. I guess we can go through it one more time. So we got the Aussie 1, it's gonna bring us on a downwind for 8 left to Atlanta. We're gonna insert that in. Looking good. Oh yeah, I forgot the Levy transition. Arrival ILS via was it Larry or something? Hold on. I'll do that in the air. Whatever. Okay. Cool. Maintain 6,000, the man said. So 6,000 is in there. Departure is offline. Cool. And looks like all the baggage and stuff like that is loaded in there. We're pretty much almost good to go. Not quite. We gotta do init B. How did you load this thing? It's been a minute. Mass and balance. So I need, according to my Simbrief flight plan here, let's see. I'm expecting a zero fuel weight of 123,457 and fuel 14,588, which is correct. Now my max zero fuel weight I can take is about 9,000 more, 134, we're at 123, so I can take a little bit more fuel. I mean, yeah, a little bit more fuel because our max landing, we're under our max takeoff weight and landing weight. So let's take a little more fuel because it's free in the sim, and it doesn't hurt to always have a little bit more fuel. And we're going to instantly load that. So the aircraft's loaded in, and we're within the envelope. Good. 15,699. We got 126 passengers on board. So I believe. Oh yeah, you could just send it. Send to McDo. Good. Good. Taxi fuel, we're going to need 500 pounds. Route reserves is 2.4. Alternates for Huntsville 4. Final reserves. Sorry, the contingency was 1.5. Final reserve is 2.4. Good. Perf. Let's do our takeoff performance calculation. So departure off runway 23 right, flap configuration optimal. I will let it calculate. Sync load sheet, sync weather, calculate 41, 42, 44, 3 down 0.7. We'll send that to the McDo. And thrust reduction, acceleration, and engine out all 1910 and 69 in the flex temp. That is all in there, my friends. And we are pretty much good to roll. 0550 is our squawk, so we'll enter that there. Without further RDU, we're gonna go here, get our load sheet, accept that. 123.5, 126 plus the crew. Looks good to me. Mean aerodynamic chord. 0 fuel weight, 33.9, and with takeoff 31.7. Cool. And that's because obviously just for my own info here. So when we put fuel without the 0 fuel weight, we are a little bit more forward in terms of the center of gravity. When we get fuel, comes backwards a little bit, so it's a lower number. Yep, I'm happy with all that. It still says company message, and that annoys me, so I'm just gonna come over here and just click red on this guy and red on this guy. Cool. Alright, we are all good to roll. I love how easy the Fenix was, or is. The Airbus is. Fuel pumps go on, seatbelt signs go on, and without further ado, let's start the APU. Master switch, 1, 2, 3, start it up, and let me crank up the sounds. Dre says, can you tell me what the LEMAC, the leading edge mean aerodynamic chord? So, Dre, I believe it shows it here. No, it's not in here. What was that? I think it was here. Yeah. So for mainly swept wing aircrafts, because it's not a regular like a square or rectangle, you have an aft limit and forward limit that the center of gravity can be in. The leading edge is the most forward line, and the trailing edge is the most back. So a lot of the wings, like the Airbus for example, it's swept back. It's kind of like that. So they try to basically take that shape and make it into an equivalent as if it was straight, to make the calculations understandable and simple. And that's what it is. That's the most basic way I can put it. There's the APU. It's running. It's gunning. APU is avail. So which means we need some pressurized air to start the engine. APU bleed goes on, so you can bleed pressurized air out of the APU and drive our starter motor, which we'll obviously use to start up the engine. External power goes up. Beacon light goes on as we're about to start it up. And I believe we're good to roll. So let's go here. My ground services, parking brakes set, If we want to be fancy, we can check the pressure. So accumulator pressure's in the green. Cool, guys. Let's get out of here. I hope I'm not forgetting nothing. It's been a while. So left door, right door, forward. That, all of that can go off, and we can ask for pushback.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Hello. Adjust these lightings according to my liking. Good. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Captain Simple. I will be your pilot today on this Spirit Wings 187 flight to Atlanta. Today's cruising altitude is expected at 38,000 feet, and we'll expect a flight time of around 1 hour and 2 minutes. Again, sit back, enjoy the show, and make yourself comfortable. Try not to fight each other or throw peanuts at each other, because this is Spirit Wings, and we know that people can get a little wild on these flights, but try to behave yourselves tonight as we fly to Atlanta, and we should have you down on the ground in about an hour. Alright, guys. Cheers. For our pushback, we're going to go charts, and we're expecting runway 23 right, so nose to the left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released. You're now clear to push.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Parking brake start at will.
This scenery seems to have a problem. Pushback won't work here. Okay.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Alright, let's just do the pushback manually then. We're going to go here, Phoenix, pushback. Parking brakes off. Start.
Set parking brakes to request ground services.
Alright, guys, clear on the left, clear on the right. And APU on. Transponder will be transponding. Not that one, over here. Transponder's on. And start engine number 1. Block time goes on. We got N2, beautiful. Excuse the terrible push, I'm doing this manually. GSX is crapping out for some reason. We started our turn a little bit late, so I'm going to stop that right here. We'll straighten it out as soon as we're done. We're going to set the parking brakes. Alright. Starter cutout. Engine number 1 is avail. I'm going to use that real quick to creep forward. Oh boy, why are we stuck? Parking brakes, there we go. Let's creep forward a little bit. Alright, let's stop it right here. Cool. Parking brake set. Starting engine number 2.
Your head. Pass.
There it goes. This isn't the right scenery? What do you mean? Jeremiah said hello, welcome. Philippine AvGeek, hello. What's the name of the simulator? Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Alright, starter cutout. Now let's see, what do we do up here? If I could recall correctly, APU bleed goes off. APU goes off. Captain Carolina, thanks for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you. Thank you. So APU is off. You can quickly check that the electrical, where is elect? Gen 1 and 2 are taking the electric load. Good. So here we can come engine start switch to norm. Flaps are gonna be 1 for takeoff, I believe. Flaps 3, okay. Flaps 3 for takeoff. Man, I'm really rusty. Flaps 3 set. Trim is going to be down 0.7. So I'm gonna come over here and over here for the vertical, down 0.7 right there. That should be about down 0.7 if I go to flight controls. Yes, it is. Good. Auto brakes max, ground spoilers armed in the Airbus, and I believe that was everything if I recall correctly. I can go predictive wind shear as well, of course, and we can go takeoff config normal. Good. Let's call for taxi, and just side stick fault. What is this? A fault has been okay, cool. Hopefully the side stick will be okay. We're going to do a flight control test. Full left, observed, neutral. Full right, observed, neutral. Elevators, full aft, observed, neutral. Forward, observed, neutral. Pedal disconnect. Rudders, full right, observed, neutral. Full left, observed, neutral. Okay, I think that's everything. Just to go over my departure real quick. No, there is no giveaway today, Sakith Aviation channel. 23 right, Klama heading assigned for radar vectors to Qatar above 2,500 on the depicted route to Shepherd. So it's just Qatar, Wolf, and Shepherd. Alright, let's see if ground's still online even. Yeah, they are. And what information do I have? Let's see, it's X-ray now. Altimeters are 3050 still. Dre, hey, I subscribed. How come a little ticket doesn't come up with it as it did for Captain Carolina? So I think it's for the people whose YouTube channels are public, I believe. So yours must be private, Dre. That's why. That's why, man. But thanks for the subscription to the channel. It's about time, my brother. Raleigh ground, Spirit Wings 187 with information X-ray, ready taxi 23 right.
Spirit Wings 187, Raleigh ground. Thanks for X-ray, runway 23 right, taxi via Foxtrot, Bravo 9.
22 right, 23 right via Foxtrot, Spirit Wings 187. Alright, I think cabin's ready. They're calling me.
The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. Alright. Simple enough. 23 via Foxtrot. Let's get our taxi lights on as well. Cool, guys. We're doing it. We are doing it. So this little sign here shows me that I'm already on Foxtrot because Foxtrot is shown in black. Oh, I'm unsubscribing, just kidding. Funny guy over here, huh? Funny guy. So we'll go all the way to the end. Guys, don't worry about these suicide trucks. They always do this in Microsoft Flight Simulator. What we usually do around here is go like that. You didn't see nothing. You didn't see nothing. Oh boy. La 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 la, you didn't see nothing. I don't know why they still haven't fixed that. So radar vectors to cater, you need to be above 2,500 feet at that first waypoint. That's our departure. And then as shown, taxiing a little quickly because we ain't got time to waste around here. I guess I will stay all the way on Foxtrot till we go over there to the end. The people on the RDU observation deck definitely saw that. Faux ASI. Yeah, it's a Microsoft kind of like a glitch thing. It always does that. I wonder if Microsoft 2024 still does that. Does anybody know? Are there still suicide trucks that just come right into you? It's in North Carolina, Dre.
Frequency change approved. Proceed at 5 days. Yeah.
Okay, frequency change approved. We'll see Spirit Wings 187. Merry Christmas.
You too.
I'm just gonna hold short here real quick. Dre, check your text. I don't have them enabled. Oh, okay. That's probably smart. That is probably smart. Alright, let's go to 122.8. Actually, we need to go on CTAF, right? What's the CTAF frequency here? 127.45. 127. Let's go takeoff and landing cam. Alright, and we'll get 122.8 in the back up there. Alright, let's get our departure chart out. And we're departing to the west. RDU traffic, Spirit Wings 187, taking off runway 23 with a straight departure on the Shepherd 4 to the west. RDU traffic. Alright guys, pretend we've been cleared. Strobes go on, wing lights, landing lights, runway turn off. We'll ding the cabin. Actually, I don't even remember how to ding the cabin. What was the ding on this? Okay, and TCAS, TARA. Final looks clear, and we're clear on the left as well. Let us go, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's spool them up and get out of here. Let's hear it be spooled up from the outside. Stable. Set takeoff thrust. Okay, Manflex 69 SRS runway. Auto thrust blue. Thrust set. $80. V1. Rotate. Pause or rate. You're up. Thousand feet. Flaps 1. A little bit of lever ASIM. Gotta fix that still. Always forget. Flaps up. I'll give myself direct, cater, insert, nav. RDU traffic, Spirit Wings 187, departed runway 23 right, 3,100 and climbing 6,000. Straight out departure to the west, last call, RDU traffic. Alright. Autopilot engaged. We're out of here. Alright, we can continue to climb all the way up to 380. I don't think there is any altitude restrictions, right? Yeah, no. So 380. And we're climbing away. Is that a Cumulus Castellanettis? Oh, don't kill me, bro. Forgot our chrono. I'll turn that on now. That looks like a beautiful little, I guess, Alto Cumulus.
The chance to choose from our fresh selection available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight brochure. You can also purchase a selection of hot beverages together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept
Turn and Burn RC, thanks for subscribing as well. Appreciate you.
any further assistance. Just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Alright, through 10,000, landing lights off. Turn on the seatbelt signs. Pressurization is pressurizing. Cabin altitude 1500. Cabin vertical speed is going up. Delta P is going up. Guess we can go 122.8. RDU traffic, Spirit Wings 187, departed runway 23, about 12 miles to the west of RDU, 12,200, climbing flight level 380. Cool. Looking pretty alright. What's the temperature outside? TAT plus 10. I'm not gonna get our anti-ice on right now. Thanks for clicking the like button, guys. I appreciate it. Alright, plus 9, visible moisture. Let's be good pilots here. Let's go anti-ice. At least we'll get the engine ones on. Alright, looks like we're clear of the clouds and visible moisture. Anti-ice goes off. Transition. We're going to set standard on the Vero. Altimeter is to standard, 2992. Set 3 times. Alright, flight level 185, climbing 380. Turn on cabin pressurization. It's automatic in the bus. So Dre, over here, it shows the cabin altitude. So even though we're at 20,000 feet, the cabin is pressurized as if the passengers are at 3,600 feet. So there's this delta P. This is just showing the pressure difference between the outside and the inside of the cabin. So you can see it's like 6 times pressurized. And this cabin VS climbing, it means the cabin altitude is still slightly climbing because we're still finishing the pressurization. Once it's fully pressurized, then it should say 0, and the cabin altitude will go up to about, I think, 7,000 feet-ish, 6 or 7,000, and we'll cruise at around 6 or 7,000 of feet of cabin altitude, even though we'll be going up to 38,000. So the passengers will feel as if they're around 7,000 feet-ish. Anything higher than that, you start to get a little hypoxic. Of course, 10,000 and above, you'll need oxygen, but under 10,000, you're not going to get hypoxic. But I mean, anything over 7 is going to start to feel maybe uncomfortable. That's kind of like the standard for airliners, around 7,000. 6 or 7. 6, 7. Yes, sir. We can have a look-see at our arrival. It's going to be the Aussie 2 RNAV arrival. ILS 8 left is going to be from Larry. That's our IAF. So we're going to join the arrival from Levy to Armoon to Digas to Betis to Dinnik. Levy, Armoon, Digas, Betis, Dinnik. Then it's going to be Wing and then Aussie. So we're landing east. So it's going to be 14,000 at Aussie. We're gonna fix that. So altitude constraint 14,000. That's in the box. And then at Harry, nothing. we're gonna go from Harry to Killer to Gas to Cloud to Kanofu, Tape, Snev. It says landing 8 left, yeah. Harry, Killer, Gas, Cloud, Kanofu, Tep, Snev. And then from Larry at 5,900. Let's see, approach, ILS 8 left. Yeah, you want to be at 5,000 for Larry. That's in there. Down to 4,000 for Bazaar, Shell 2,900. That all looks good to me. Would an Airbus recover from stall the same way as a Cessna? No, the Airbus is fly-by-wire, so it's built with some internal protections to not allow you to stall. And when it does feel like you're in a stall situation, if you're low energy state, it has something called the alpha flow protection, where it just cranks the throttles up for you, and it basically goes toga for you to try to get you out of that stall and build that airspeed. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's like trying to put a very basic explanation. If you were hypoxic and didn't hear the warnings, yeah, well, if the autopilot's on, it doesn't really care whether you're hypoxic or not. It'll continue doing its thing. If you were hand flying and you get hypoxic, and for whatever reason you start to stall, it'll kind of recover for you. Alright, let's get the CTAF frequency in Atlanta. Still no Atlanta Center, eh? Nope. So 119.1 is the CTAF. Okay, that's in the standby. So right now the cabin altitude is 6,850 feet. It should stop pressurizing pretty soon here. And the landing elevation is automatic in the Airbus. It already knows Atlanta's around 1,000 feet altitude. Top of our descent is in around 118 miles. Can this shoot a VOR approach? Yep, yes it can. Definitely can. So you can always go to the RadNav and it'll automatically tune the VORs if it's part of your flight plan here and if it's using it for navigation, or you can manually input a VOR frequency in here and you can select the course and it'll follow it. If I put my VORs on here, so for example the Bravo Zulu Mike VOR, if I go Bravo Zulu Mike, I can put that here, and you see how, Dre, this arrow now points towards Bravo Zulu Mike, so that means my bearing to Bravo Zulu Mike, as we're learning, is 305 right now, right? I can actually put it here as well. So this is our little RMI. So 305 is right here, our bearing to the Bravo Zulu Mike. And then you can actually enter a course as well. So if I want to be 305ing, I can put that here, and you see now it shows 305, and I can use that to navigate. So if we're on the 305 radial, Mr. Dre, what if I want to go to the 330 radial? It should be on my right, correct? So we can test that. 330. Sorry, I said it backwards. If we're at the 300, the 330 should be more to that way. So right now, if this is, pretend this instrument is the VOR, Bravo Zulu Mike. We're on the 310 radial. So 330 is more that way, right? So it correctly shows it there. How about NDB? How can you tell if it's to or from? Because right now it's, I believe it's to, because it's pointing to it. Let's see. If I go to arc here, yeah. So we're pointing to it, which means, like, basically we're on the 3. This is 27. Hold on. 27180. Okay, it's 3302. And it'll be, I guess, the opposite of that. So whatever, 330 minus 180, 150 from. Yeah. Now the question is, how do you know that? Because of the arrow. So the tip of the arrow is pointing to the VOR. So this is showing the radial 2. If I put 150, I should get reverse sensing as we talked about in class. So 150. Yeah, you see? Unless this is just a smart Airbus and it's not, because this is a fancy HSI, so maybe you don't get that. But anyways, kind of basically that's what it is. But yeah, we're definitely on the 150 from Bravo Zulu Mike right now. So what if I put 180? 180. It will show, yeah, it's more that way, right? So if this is 15 and we're on it, 180 should be more in front of us, basically. Now, mind you, one of these arrows, this double arrow is the Charlotte VOR. So this, ignore this one because it's pointing, this is VOR 2. So it's pointing to the Charlotte VOR. This is the one we're interested in. That's the one pointing to Bravo Zulu Mike that I've tuned in here. The only thing I'm thinking is, why isn't it giving me reverse sensing? So if I put 360, shouldn't the needle go the other way? Interesting. Either way, it's showing me in the correct. I think it might be just because this is a smart, sophisticated sort of instrument. It's not like our little Cessnas. So this is the course you're selecting with the radial, and then this is always pointing to the VOR. So you can see right now we're almost on the 33, 34, 35, like 354 radial. So if I put 354, we should be right on it. Yeah, ish. We're just passing it right now. Pretty cool, huh? So we should be going towards the 360 right now. There it is. And because we're moving across the ground at 384 knots, it's crossing real quick. And then when I clear the manual one, it'll revert to what it needs to tune into for a regular route that we've followed, that we've programmed in the FMS, or the McDo as they call it in the Airbus. And you can see here the cabin altitude has stopped pressurizing at 7,750 feet. So, and it's not pressurizing anymore. There's a pressure difference of 8 between the cabin and the outside. And we're cruising at that cabin altitude now. And it's not going any higher, which means pressurization has worked correctly. Okay, so let's play a little game here. What is my bearing to the Oscar Delta Foxtrot VOR? So right now my bearing 2 is around 255. So if I tune this in, Oscar Delta Foxtrot, .255. Yeah, we're pretty much on that. And it's 2552, which means, hey, am I interrupting a lesson in VOR navigation? Hey, Gary, I'm just talking to my classmate about VORs and how much fancier this HSI is in a Airbus than our little Cessnas. So we're on 255 right now to the VOR. Where is it? Oscar Delta Foxtrot, we're about, what, 80, 90 miles, maybe 100 miles out on the 255 radial. 2, which means from, if we're going to see from now, it would be the reciprocal of that, which would be what? 255 minus 180, which is 075. So we're 075 radial from Oscar Delta Foxtrot. So if I put 075 here, doot, it just switches back around, but we're still on the radial. And you don't get reverse sensing because this is smart. I'm wondering why we don't get reverse sensing. We should. Obviously in the Cessna ones you do. Let's try another one. So Victor X-ray Victor, I'm on what? Right now my position relative to that, it should be around 295 radial. X-ray or Victor X-ray Victor. So VXV. Yeah, so 28295. So it's pointing to it. That's my bearing to it is 295, 296 now. And the bearing from the VOR is 296 minus 180. So 116. Pretty sweet to learn this stuff. It's fun to switch it up once in a while in the sim and fly with VOR. Yeah, true. Gary, you're probably more proficient with this than half the people in my class. Simmers are not to be underestimated. Simmers are smart people. I'll expose on here. Simple Takeoffs got 92 on a test where the average was 64. Yeah, I mean, I do's what I do's. That was quite the interesting test, but our classmate today, Andre, was saying that's not really a good representation of how the actual CPL will be. So that was interesting to hear. So we got to study, man. We got to study for that. Back to the Charlotte VOR. We got a company message here. It probably wants us on an ADC delay message. Send ADC for 817 minutes. Let's see. Do I remember how to do this? How did you do this? ADC delay. What was it? 800 and what? $817 minutes. So ADC delay 800. It wants to know basically why we're 817 minutes. Obviously, it's because I pulled the time back in the sim, but it's kind of dumb, so it doesn't know that. So we got to tell it 817, because right now it should be nighttime, right? I believe it was 0D1. I don't know what I remember, why I remember these useless informations, but that's just the code for wrong dispatch time. So we always blame it on the dispatch, as is tradition here. Flight with me. Welcome to our community. Thanks for subscribing. Gary says he taught me a lot. You're too kind, Gary. Too kind, my friend. It is starting to be descent time soon. I'll do a quick brief for you guys. So we're expecting the Aussie 2 RNAV arrival for runway 8 left into Atlanta. It's chart 10-2 Bravo 2, dated 21st of November 2025, effective 27th of November 2025. It's an RNAV arrival from the Levy transition. We're coming up on Levy in about 18 miles. It's, all the waypoints and constraints are as briefed, and we're going to transition to Aussie, and from Aussie expect a basically left downwind for 08 left and catch the ILS 8 left approach from Larry, the initial approach fix. This is all the routing, which we are already kind of covered. Airport elevation is 1026. MSA in the area, minimum sector altitude 3,100 feet. And what else? That's pretty much it. Then from there, we're gonna transition to the 8 left localizer or ILS approach. Chart 11-1, effective 22 of April 2021, which is outdated, but never mind that. The localizer frequency is India Hotel Foxtrot Whiskey 109.3, and that should be in there now. India Hotel Foxtrot Whiskey 109.3. Final approach course is 96.095. It's always off by 1. I don't know why it does that here. F095, we'll fix that up. So final approach course is 095 is in the box. Glide slope check at basically the final approach fix FAF is at Shell. You need to be at 2,900. ILS minimums of 1215 decision altitude, which is barometric, and 1215. Gotta go here, fill up our approach. So we'll go weather, KATL, we'll put that in the minimums. We'll wait for the weather. So Atlanta, METAR, hold on, let me just make sure we don't miss our approach. So we'll come down to say 33,000 for now. We'll start a shallow descent in about 19 miles. It's coming up anyway. Information, whatever it is, as of 0152. So what is that? 852 Zulu, or 852 local. Sorry, 752 local. Right? 1, 2, 3. Wait. 230152 Zulu. So wasn't that be 952? It's 944. How's that? How's it in the future? Maybe I'm just doing the math wrong. 100 at 5. Some winds are pretty much calm from the north, from the east. 10 station mile visibility broken 7,000. 13 -6 altimeter 3042. 3042. Temperature 13 degrees. And the winds are 100 at 5. Landing config full, so full flaps. We need a VAP of 135. Did we not do landing data here? I'm trying to. Oh yeah, we did. 8 left, dry, refresh METAR, apply METAR, low auto brakes, landing weight. What was my landing weight? How'd you do this again? You're at 134.6 right now. And you're going to land with 10.2, so you're going to have basically 3.2 less than your current gross weight, which would be what? 131.4. That's going to be my predicted landing weight. 131.4. Okay. Manual landing, flaps full, auto thrust on, idle. We'll do max reverse. Alright, so basically with all that, low auto brakes, you have 9,000 feet available, and with a factored landing distance of 15%, you'll only need 7,500, so auto brakes low. Good. Good. And our perf page is filled out. Transition altitude should say 180. And we're good to go. He's been getting me through ground school, bless simple takeoffs. No, that's giving me too much credit. You've been getting yourself through ground school, dude. Give yourself credit. Okay. Charts. Just to finish this off, MSA is 3,100 feet. Where is sim takeoff or sim takeoff? Where is sim CFI? I want to ask, what does ARP mean? Can someone Google that? Because I know usually it's based on a runway threshold, isn't it? What does ARP stand for? Somebody Google that if you can. So that basically shows that it's the minimum sector altitude is based on, I guess it was 25 nautical miles, if I'm remembering correctly, based on Alfa Romeo Papa. In case of a missed approach, climb to 1500, then climbing left turn to 3500, heading 360, inbound on the Romeo Mike Golf, radial 115 to Troy's International, which is 38.1 from RMG, and hold. And it's going to be a parallel entry into the hold. We're expecting approach light system with sequence flashing lights and PAPIs. Any questions? No questions. Good. Now pull back the Levy chart again. So you can go all the way down for 14,000 for Aussie. All the way down to 14,000. Good. It means the airport reference point. Okay. Oh, okay, Dre. So, and Bryce says it means the designated geographical location of an air. Okay. I think I had looked this up before. So on the airport chart, there's a certain point on this chart that represents the geographic center of it. So sometimes they do the MSA based on a runway threshold, maybe on an approach plate, but in this case it's based on the ARP, which means, and I've seen this before, that it shows somewhere on this chart is the airport reference point. Right here, guys. Okay, thank you. I remember now. I had looked this up before and I just forgot. So the geographic reference point for Atlanta, Hartsfield-Jackson is right here where it says ARP. So our minimum sector altitude is 3,100 feet, ASL, or MSL as they call it in the States, which is, was it 25 or 50? I want to say 25 nautical miles from this reference point, which is basically the center of the airport. Thank you. Make sure VATSIM's not online still. Yeah, we pretty much have the airport to ourselves. Alright, here comes the this little green dot indicates our calculated descent profile that's coming in now. So thrust idle, this vertical speed will go up now, and we're going to start going down on profile. There we go. Now we're descending at a good rate. Let's see, do we have any NDBs around here? Oh, Dre, look, we still have some NDBs. So Bravo Mike Whiskey. So the ADF should be, if I point the ADF to Bravo Mike Whiskey. It already smart enough to know based on the identifier what the frequency is. So 404 kilohertz. Now if I go VOR, where's my ADF? Oh yeah, I gotta put this to ADF. So yeah, so now you switch this pointer to ADF. So now you're tuning in the NDB. So you can see we are on the, it's 25 nautical miles. Thanks, Gary. So we're basically right now on the 220, you can call it 219 bearing, 219 bearing to the NDB. Yes. Yes, that's what it was. It's pretty sweet how they used to navigate with NDBs back in the day. Yeah, we're on the 215. We're kind of crossing it this way, so it's always push the tail, pull the head. So if I want the bearing to go left, I kind of go to the right to intercept the bearing I want. So as you go this way, you're pushing the head this way, and then once you switch it around and you go to the other side of the NDB, then the tail will go, you go where, it's kind of hard to explain. Let's see, is there an NDB behind us? What if we go on the Gulf Mike? So this one should be behind us. Gulf Mike NDB. Alright, now we're tuned into this guy. 521 kilohertz is the frequency. So if I go nav, perfect. Now you see the NDBs behind us. So what does that mean? It means we're on the 0607, 075 radial. What's the reciprocal? 07. So we're basically on the 255, not radial, bearing from that NDB towards to the west of it, basically. Pretty sweet. I don't want to bore you guys too much with my nerdy talk, so let's go VOR constraints. We'll delete that. Alright, cool. Let's get an extended one-way center line going. How did you do a fix here? How did I do a fix? So KATL 08 left. Final approach course was 095, so the reciprocal of that is 275 for a radius of 10 miles as well. We need the fixed ring, and we'll do another one for the 5 miles. So now I should have an extended runway center line, and I should have, perfect. There's my extended runway center line and a 10-mile and 5-mile fixed ring. We can do bearing distance to KATL. So it's basically the airports at our southwest, we're 70 miles to the south, to the northeast. Atlanta traffic, Spirit rings 187 is 70 miles to the northeast of the field, descending out of flight level 230 via the Aussie 2 RNAV arrival to join the ILS runway 08 left approach, Atlanta traffic. Does it have a weather radar like we learned in class? It does, but there's no weather right now that'll pick up. So remember they said it'll pick up mainly really high moisture content. So these clouds are not moist enough for it to pick it up. I could try. Where was the weather radar on this? So it has a terrain. Actually, this aircraft might have, the Fenix didn't model that as last I remembered. I know the 737 has it, Dre, but... So this is on weather, turbulence, and hazard. So it's set correctly. This is the tilt that he was talking about that you can play with. But to be totally honest with you, I think this aircraft did not model that. They haven't modeled it in the sim for this. But we do have terrain radar. You see that? It's kind of picking up terrain. So green means it's like we're way above it. It's not a threat. Once it becomes like yellow, it means kind of we're within a certain range away from the tip of the terrain, and then red means we're lower than it, so we should be careful. But yeah. Alright, we're coming through transition.
Lane of traffic, Delta 90, correction, lane of traffic, Delta 9973 on the Aussie 2 RNAV arrival to Atlanta. Sitting through flight level 190, approximately 14 nautical miles from Aussie. Atlanta traffic.
.3042.
And to the traffic in front of us, how fast are you going?
Atlanta traffic, Spirit Wings 187, 10 miles to the east of Aussie, descending out of 17,000, and we're doing about 270 indicated for the ILS, 8 left approach, Atlanta traffic.
Atlanta traffic, Delta 9973.
This guy's coming up on us.
We're about doing double, or not double, we're doing 295. We're going to be doing slower shortly. Speeds are descending now.
Roger, Spirit Wings 187 will just got a TCAS RA that we're responding to. We'll avoid you. We'll do a left 360 to create some spacing and come behind you.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't notice you until it was too late.
No worries. Yeah, we'll do a left 360. This kid is 200 feet above us. What are we, back in Brampton? Jesus Christ. Where is he? Oh my goodness, guys, look at him. Can you turn on the no smoking sign? Yeah. Look at that. Look at this guy. We literally just got a TCAS RA. Traffic. But I was on top of it because we didn't even need the TCAS to tell us anything. We were already on top of it. Yeah, the no smoking sign is right here, Dre. So it's on auto. I can turn it on. I believe it should be modeled. Yeah, see, no smoking is on.
And Delta 9973 Atlanta traffic resuming normal speed.
At least the kid had the presence of mind to tell me there's a potential conflict. Good situational awareness, kid. It's not Brampton if you can't read the call sign. But yeah, you see, it's cool how they modeled it. If I turn off the no smoking sign, Dre, watch this. Oh, it's not modeled. Never mind. It was in the 7.3. I get my planes mixed up. Yeah, it's not modeled. But it does make a little ding. direct, Aussie, nav. Alright, that created a bunch of spacing between us. That's what happens when you don't have ATC online. We're kind of used to this from our flight school. From the flight deck, it's your captain speaking. On behalf of Spirit Wings, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this service to Atlanta. We're currently descending out of 14,000 feet and we'll be down on the ground at Atlanta in about 12 minutes. We ask that you remain seated for the remainder of the flight and follow the cabin crew's instructions at all times. Again, on behalf of your first officer and your cabin crew, this is Captain Simple, and I hope you choose Spirit Wings again. Cabin crew, please through the cabin for arrival. Thank you. Alright, crossing Aussie in about 10 miles. Atlanta traffic, Spirit Wings 187, 10 miles to the east of Aussie on the Aussie 2 RNAV arrival for the ILS 8 left approach into Atlanta. Currently at 14,000, we'll be descending to 3,000 Atlanta traffic. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button. It really does help. Alright, here we are on the map now. Turn on the seatbelt signs. So after Aussie, we can pretty much get down to, I want to be at Larry, actually 5,000. So we can go down to 5,000. And if I hit this right now, it should keep us at 14 because it knows there's a constraint, alt constraint. So that is smart enough to know that we've programmed 14,000 at that waypoint, so it's not going to start descending until we pass Aussie. And then it'll slowly come down according to the calculated profile to 5,000. Can you do a forward slip not on stream, just theoretically? I don't see why not. Probably can. Should we try, Dre? Autopilot off. Alright, let's be idiots. Let's try a forward slip. Okay, so right now the flight directors are commanding me to start descending. Let's pretend we're gonna get a little, we're gonna level off and we're gonna stay high. So what's gonna happen is, as you can see, let me pull this up. So you can see on the screen that this green dot's starting to get away from me, right? It means we're too high, which is asking for more drag. So let's see if we can do a forward slip. Right rudder and left aileron. This is full right rudder and left aileron right now. I don't think so. What if I do a little bit of right rudder, left aileron? It's kind of sensitive. I don't know how effective fly-by-wire is with forward slips, so probably not. Let's try left rudder, right aileron. No. Maybe you can do a really gentle one, but not the way we do it in the 172 with like full deflection of the rudder and aileron. So if I do like maybe a little, because I want to go to the left, right? So let's say a little bit of right rudder, maybe like, I don't know, 1/3 of the way and a little bit of left aileron, so you're kind of in a slip position right now. So you can kind of do a gentle slip, yeah. You see that? You could kind of do it, but so let's try it again. Let's pretend we're leveling off. Oh, dumb pilot, forgot to descend. We'll keep the lateral part going though accurately because we don't want to be off route. So if I want to just be level, I'll keep the nose at around 2.5 degrees. That's like pretty level attitude for an airliner. Okay, so now you see how the profile is going below us means we're too high. Let's see if we could do a forward slip here. Okay, so right, a little bit of right rudder, a little bit of left aileron, and nose down. Yeah, see, I'm kind of slipping here. You see how the turn coordinator is show us in a slip position? Yeah, we're kind of slipping here. Let me just make sure icing is not a factor. We're at 13 degrees, so we don't need the icing yet. Andre, it's kind of actually working, because we didn't need to even use spoiler to slow us down. The slip is kind of working. It's helping us not speed up. Let's try it one more time. So we're going to be on the downwind here almost. Hold on, let me make a call. We're 25 miles to the... that's 240, so northeast. Atlanta traffic, Spirit Wings 187 is 25 miles to the northeast of the field, descending by the Aussie 2 RNAV arrival out of 2000 for the ILS 8 left approach. We'll be on a left downwind for runway 8 left, Atlanta traffic. And I'm going to switch over to the CTAF frequency. Atlanta traffic, Spirit Wings 187, 320, descending out of 12,000, about 25 nautical miles to the northeast of the field, inbound on the Aussie 2 for the ILS 8 left approach, left downwind ILS 8 left approach, Atlanta traffic. Alright, so now we're pretty high, right? Let's see if we can descend in a forward slip without gaining a lot of airspeed. Let's try this out. So left or right rudder, left aileron, like that. Kind of put it in a descent here. No, we are gaining speed, you see? We are still kind of gaining speed. Interesting. I'm going to go to perf. I'm going to activate approach phase, confirm. And we're coming up on 10,000 soon, so we want to be below 250. Okay, so now we're going to take a right turn. Let's see if we can go left rudder, right aileron. Alright, it is 14 degrees on the skin, so icing's not a factor. But we are coming through 10,000, landing lights go on. Pressurization, depressurizing cabin altitude 1,000, check. Forward slipping an Airbus all the way to Atlanta. Alright, the auto thrust is on. Let's go speed. We'll keep it at 220 for now. And let's come in hot. We'll We'll descend now to the MSA, which is 3,100. We'll go thrust idle, open descent. Speed check flaps 1. We'll go flaps 1 early here. It'll help us get down quicker. There's no one in front of me, at least not on TCAS. Icing's not a concern. We're 13 degrees. I kind of like the slipping thing. Right rudder, left aileron. Nose down. It's got to be like a gentle one. You can't do like a crazy. Yeah, you don't want to overspeed it. We'll slow ourselves down to 210. Let's see if we can get visual for the field. We won't even do the ILS. You know what? Flight director's off. Let's go all visual. Flight director's off. Where's the bird? Bird. Descent path vector. What's your vector, Victor? Coming from the 172 life, it's all about visual. Who needs the ILS? 13 degrees, okay. We're in IMC. So maybe we do need the ILS. No, we probably have to just get through a little bit of this cloud. Just descend. Ooh, there's some towering cumulus buildups over here. Can you do a sim into Madeira soon times? Yeah, we can do Madeira. I've actually never done that. We'll see if we can get visual. Let's try to stay on track here. So this is our flight path vector, meaning that right now at this rate of descent, the aircraft will be in a certain number of time, or yeah, I forgot in how long, but our vector is such that we're kind of going down, what is that, 2.5 degrees. Let's stay on track here because we're getting off track, so we need to follow that. Atlanta traffic, Spirit Wings 187 established on a left downwind for ILS 8 left approach, Atlanta traffic. Alright, we're kind of coming through the clouds. Do we have the field in sight, guys? Or do we have to shoot the ILS? We're kind of a little bit off track. Let's get back on track here. Alright, there's the field. 8 left should be the one on the left. We can go to the airport chart. So we're somewhere here. It should be the very first runway. Okay. And you want to be around 2,900 there. So we're a little bit high. Let's do a forward slip. Hey, no, it's not working because we're speeding up, so that I don't think the forward slip is much of a thing in the bus. All right, cabin crew, please prepare for landing. I like that. Alright, so visual approach. Runway, I see the approach lights right there. Okay. Descending to the MSA 3,100, and our missed approach altitude is 3,500. Climb to 1,500, then climbing left turn 3,500. Okay. So we're pretty much looking good here. Auto thrust is on. Let's go turn base here. Atlanta traffic, Spirit Wings 187, turning left base, runway 8 left, Atlanta. We're treating it like a circuit now. Just like a 172. Alright, the auto thrust is kind of interesting. I'm going to put the nose down. It should give me some thrust to keep my speed, shouldn't it? I'm going to go flaps 2. Speed check, flaps 2. Okay, now I'm going to try leveling off, and I'm going to see if the auto thrust responds to this or not. Nope. Speed's going down. Where's the auto thrust? No? Okay, auto thrust off. Cool. We're left basing. 3,800, should be around 4,000. There's a guy on final right here. Let's see if we can get him in sight. You guys see him? No? Speed's okay. I see the runway. Alright, we'll give some spacing with this guy. Remember, we're on manual thrust here. I'm going to actually turn the replay on. Alright, this is exactly how I would do the circuit. I'd kind of look over here. I'd look over here. Okay, I see the guy in sight. Right there. Atlanta traffic, Spirit Wings 187, turning final. Number 2, runway 8 left. I was about to say full stop. That would have been way too VFR-y. Alright, let's go ground spoilers armed. Turn in final. What's the final approach course? 095, okay. Get about 30 degrees bank angle.
2,500.
Check. Overshot final a bit, no problem, we'll correct that. Alright, we see the runway. Don't overshoot it. Way overshot. Whoops. That's correct. Alright, now the key is to start slowing down. So I'm going to go gear down because I see the guy visually in front of me. I'm going to slow way down here because otherwise we're going to need to go around. Flaps 3. Flaps full. Thrust idle. Following the guy manually. Alright, the Pappies are showing me all red, so I'm going to level off a little bit, maybe a little bit too low here. Actually, you're not looking too bad. You want to be at 2,900 at Shell. I'm at 2,900 right now, so. ECAM memo landing no blue. Hopefully that guy vacates in time, though. Alright, looking like two red, two white. Atlanta traffic, Spirit Wings, 187, 5 miles out for the ILS 8 left approach number 2. I hope that guy clears the runway, otherwise we're going to have to go around. Let's do some S-turns here. Give ourselves a little bit more tracky. And my ground speed's 132, so divide that by 2, what is that, 650, so I want to be around 650 rate of descent. We're following the Pappies visually anyway. Let's see a soft field landing with a 2,000 foot obstacle. Dylan Smith, what's going on, man? Speed, check speed. Let's not get too cute here. I don't see the guy in front of me anymore. I'm hoping he's close to landing. Traffic on short final. How far are you out for 8 left? Atlanta traffic. Okay. Wait, I see him. Looks kind of high, no? Well, we could always sidestep to the right.
$1,000.
Alright, 1,000. Check speed. Two red, two whites on the Pappy. Alright, 2 red, 2 white, beautiful.
$500.
Check, now stable. I don't see that other aircraft, so cool.
100 above.
Yeah, I don't know where he went. Is he exiting? I see him now.
Minimum.
Landing.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Drive.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Nose down gently. Decel. There you go. And that guy exited in time so that our S-turns worked. We literally treated like a 172 traffic pattern. That was fun. Manual braking. That worked out, guys. Dre, how'd you like that circuit? Gary says nicely done. Dre says very nice. Dylan says greaser. Appreciate you guys. That was fun. Damn, that was actually a lot of fun. Who needs the ILS approach when you're visual? That's the one thing about VFR in the 172 or any VFR aircraft really. You get really good at judging like height and distance and stuff like that. Okay, I don't know what he's doing. We'll kind of go this way, I guess. Atlanta traffic, Spirit Wings, 187, clear of 8 left. Alright, let's hold short right here. Cool. Watch your wing, sir. Am I on the right CTAF frequency? Oh, we were on the wrong frequency this whole time. No wonder. Whoops. Atlanta traffic, Spirit Wings, 187 clear of 8 left. No wonder we couldn't hear anybody. Good thing we kind of visually avoided them. Alright, spoilers. Taxi lights, we can turn off our landing lights as well, and we can go APU.
Atlanta traffic, Delta 9973, clear of 8 right.
Now you're getting it, says SimCFI. Hey, were you watching? Did you catch that? What a classic thing to do, eh? Not being on frequency. Whoops.
Atlanta traffic, Delta 9973, continuing taxi via Echo and Echo Charlie Foxtrot for the ramps. Good day.
Atlanta traffic, Spirit Wings. This is 187 crossing runway 8 left, or correction 8 right on Echo 11. Probably should have said that sooner, but alright, I hope you guys had as much fun as I did there. That was pretty damn fun. Pretty damn fun. Alright, we don't need to go do the whole parking shenanigans. Let's just get the replay. There you have it, guys. Safe and sound. Hey, not bad for Spirit Wings, eh? Yeah, tuned into the stream at 100 feet. Oh no, SimCFI. We fully did like a visual left downwind for 8 left. We turned off everything, autopilot, auto thrust. We had the flight path vector going, no flight directors. We came in through the clouds and we got visual, so it was pretty fun.
Atlanta traffic, Delta 9975.
Disconnect, stop, replay. Alright, let's check it out. Let's reconfigure again for the replay. Weep. Boop. I don't know why it's tripping out like that. Okay, cool. APU, we don't need it. What is this, some ghost activity going on? Alright, so right now we are on the, I believe, yeah, we're in the downwind. You see the approach threshold lights right there. So we went kind of like turning. Oh yeah, no, we were on the, whatchamacallit, this is on left base. So left base, and then turn final, way overshot, so that was my bad. So that's 8 left, we were on like 9 left. But whatever, it's like my first time trying something like this. And then here we started doing S-turns because there was a guy in front of us that wasn't going to clear the runway in time, so I kind of gave myself some S-turns here. Alright, let's get the replay from here. You're a CRJ pilot now. Hey, maybe tomorrow we'll do CRJ. Although I just switched it to the side stick. Alright, let's see this hand flown from the passenger perspective. Hey Dre, I thank you for that. Because Dre asked me to do a forward slip, it all led to just hand flying the whole way down. Yeah, we'll take that. Come back here. Doop. And we'll go boop. Forward slip in 320, sir. Come into my office, says Chief Pilot. It was kind of working. Watch out, he tried to rebrand himself as your simple CFI. No, I didn't. Gary's making shit up. But you know what? I do like the ring to that. Has a nice ring to it. Now that you mention it, your simple CFI. No, there's only one sim CFI. Wee.
Don't think.
Don't stink. I wonder why the auto thrust wasn't responding though.
Don't think.
And our speed was just deteriorating.
Don't think.
So I just went manual thrust anyway. Captain Carl is looking down on you. I should have told Captain Carl to tune in. Hey Gary, have you watched Captain Carl on TikTok by any chance? Gary might know him. Hey, considering this was my first flight in the Phoenix since 3.5 months ago, we'll take it, guys. Yo, is the stream just lagging for me or anybody else? It's not showing lagging on my end, Dre. Dylan says it's good for you, yeah. Let's see how it looks from the outside and then we'll call it a night. That was super fun. I'm glad I did the stream. Also, I'm glad VATSIM wasn't online because they would have bitched at me for like all this missing final and overshooting and stuff. So this was actually good practice. We're just doing some S turns here. Let's see how it looked from here. I have my landing rate as well. It was... We got 116 and 1G. So, certified grease. We'll take it. Nice. I'll take that any day. Beauty. And the winds were super calm, which obviously helped as well. Because as we all know, Microsoft goes crazy with a little bit of winds. It acts like it's a tornado. Guys, I really had fun, especially in the approach and landing today. Thanks for watching. And if you did enjoy the stream, don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. It really does help. Until next time. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you. That landing was so butter, it slipped my internet connection right off. Dre, thanks for tuning in, man. I had a lot of fun today. Guys, I'm out. See ya! Till next time.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix. You've been
stand aside.